Welcome to What is Crypto? I'm Matt, and this is Crypto. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Casper. I'm going to be talking to you about some of the exciting things that Casper has going for it, and I'm going to give you some realistic thoughts about what I'm going to be doing if Casper's price keeps bleeding. Am I going to hold this one forever? Is it going to be something that I'm going to cut? If you want to know the answer to these questions, then stick around to the end of the video. Also, like, comment, subscribe. It helps get content like this out there. With that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Alrighty, as always, let's have a quick look at the market. Bitcoin has really been ranging from 101k up to its all-time highs at around 110k, around that mark. Bitcoin has been chopping around in between these levels, and there is still no clear direction in the market. On one hand, we are putting in higher lows, which is always good to see, but on the other hand, we have put in a slightly lower high. So yeah, Bitcoin chopping around. Now, we've had some pretty bearish stuff happening macroeconomically with war, all that stuff going on at the moment. Now, when it comes to war, firstly, I want to say hearts go out there to everyone involved. Absolutely terrible stuff. But looking at it solely from a market perspective, wars usually are a time when things get significantly oversold. Now, I'm thinking about this massive war FUD wick that we got down on the 4th of August. There was mass liquidations. Everyone was panicking. Everyone was calling the end of the market. And what did we do from there? Well, we ripped from around that 50k mark all the way straight up to 100k. So absolutely cooked after that. I'm not saying that we are about to make a move similar. I'm also not saying that we're not. The only point I'm trying to get across for this is that when we do have war FUD, it is genuinely oversold in the short term. So for me, not too concerned. I mean, obviously, if there are massive developments that occur, then yeah, definitely my outlook could change. But at this present time, I'm pretty happy with where Bitcoin is doing after a massive run up, consolidating around these levels. Now, what else am I having a look at before we go into Casper? Well, I'm having a look at ETH BTC. So having a look at this chart, we want to see Ethereum start to outperform Bitcoin. Now, as you can see, when we had previous run-ups in our 2017 bull run, ETH started absolutely cooking. And then when we had a previous run-up in our 2021 bull run, ETH started absolutely cooking and outperforming Bitcoin. Now, this does coincide with Bitcoin dominance, as what you want to see is a sharp drop-off in Bitcoin dominance, as that really means that the dominance that Bitcoin has over the market is decreasing. So when we have that sharp drop-off, which usually happens pretty quickly, then that really does signal altcoin season. Just another couple of quick things to have a look at. We want to have a look at the US dollar. Our last two bull runs were here and here. So that was in 2021 and 2017-18. So when we have a breakdown in US dollar strength, it is usually good for risk on assets. And lastly, I like to have a look at the stock market. So the stock market is still performing really damn well. And it looks like we are primed to put in new all-time highs sometime over the next few weeks or months. Alrighty, now let's have a look at Kaspa, which is the reason why you are here. First of all, let's have a look at the price action. Then I'm going to go into some of the updates. So price action, really boring unless you got in Kaspa before November 2023. We've been chopping around in this range for about 18 months. We broke below it, put in a low, we broke back up into the range, and since then we have unfortunately lost that range. Now, what am I seeing and what am I looking for? Well, I'm hoping that we have just put in another low here. It is definitely way too early to be calling this as another low, however. I really don't want to see us put in another low below this, as that would mean that we still are in a negative downtrend. So what I want to see is wherever we bottom out, I want it to be above this level, and then I want our next high to be above the 13-cent mark. So I want us to be putting in higher lows and higher highs. Now, Casper, I am so damn bullish on it for what it actually is. However, the markets have been absolutely punishing Casper holders for a long time. Will I hold this one forever? Well, that really does unfortunately depend on the price. So if we do put in a new low below 5 cents, I'm going to seriously consider selling my Casper. I know some of you might be like, Matt, that's a crazy thing to do, and it would cause me a huge amount of pain, but I can't constantly hold something if it continues to bleed. There is definitely money to be made out there in the markets, and although I still am really bullish on Casper for the reasons that I'm about to mention, there is a time and a point where I'm going to have to sit myself down and have a really good think about my position. Alrighty, now the good. Let's talk about why I'm bullish on Casper. First of all, the reason that a lot of people got into Casper is because of its technology. Being a new and improved Bitcoin-esque project, it is a proof of work. It is 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin after its 10 blocks per second upgrade. There is also going to be 100 blocks per second upgrade in the future. So yeah, it is going to be so damn fast, it isn't even funny. It's going to be 60,000 times faster than Bitcoin after that 100 BPS upgrade. And this further gives credibility to the fact that Casper can be used as a payment solution. Now, Casper has been able to be used as a payment solution for quite some time, and it is becoming increasingly more prevalent. For example, the Casper experience. So they've got a Berlin event taking place where they will only be accepting payments in Casper. That is, every vendor, food, drinks, merchant products, you'll only be able to pay in Casper. So absolutely love that. They're going to have speakers, panels, a lot of things going on there. Cool event. I also love the fact that things are now getting built on top of Casper. So we had meme coins being built on Casper, but now we have things like KAS messaging. So all you need to do is have a look at Ghosty, built something pretty damn cool. So in essence, he's built a decrypted messaging app on Casper. So this is a truly P2P open source encrypted messaging app. I think it's really cool that paying a very, very small amount of Casper, you'll be able to send messages via this. So 10 Casper is going to be enough to send hundreds of thousands of messages. Like the fact that people are building stuff on it. And that ties in pretty well to Igra Labs. Igra Labs, why am I excited with what they're doing? So they're building an EVM compatible programmability layer on top of Casper's block DAG. Now, what does this mean? Well, in essence, EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, EVM compatibility means that smart contracts written for Ethereum will be able to be used on Casper. It allows for developers to leverage existing Ethereum tools and infrastructure while benefiting from Casper's block DAG capabilities. So yeah, I think that is really damn cool. So Igra Labs are still developing their layer 2, and their layer 2 is going to be out in mid-July. So yeah, I think that's pretty damn cool that stuff like this is getting built. Now, if you want to have a bit more of a look at Igra Labs, you can go on igralabs.com and you can have a look at the team. So the team has so much damn experience, multiple different blockchain developers. Have a look into these people. It is a pretty decent list of people working on a pretty cool project. And have a look into what they are doing. So their vision in essence is to deliver a platform that combines the Bitcoin type security with the versatility of modern programmable chains such as Ethereum. So they want to unify their kind of decentralized VMs under one roof, making them secure, ultra fast, MEV resistant, and interoperable. All in all, I think the team behind Casper is amazing. I think what is happening now being built on top of Casper is amazing. And I think there is still a lot to be excited and bullish about. I think a couple of things really hurt Casper. One of them was the speed at which the tokens were released. Because of their emission schedule and how quickly the tokens were distributed, it didn't allow for that Bitcoin type decentralization and distribution. However, that doesn't change how cool the stuff that the Casper team is working on. So yeah, personally, I do think that Casper is going to have a pretty bright future. But that being said, there is a point where I will evaluate my position. Now that point is going to come if we lose the 5 cent level and put in a new low. At that point, I'm going to be looking for a bounce and then really trying to assess whether or not I am going to continue my position in Casper, because I do believe in the team and I do believe in the tech. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. That's just my 2 cents. However, do what's right for you. And if you're bullish on Casper, if you're bearish on Casper, or if you just want to say hello, make sure you drop down into the comments. I would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And you know what? If you've made it all the way to the end of the video and you want to join my Discord, which I've just turned into a paid thing, but you want to join 100% free for supporting me and watching all the way to the end, I will let you in for free for life. So yeah, all you need to do to that is go on Twitter, flick me a DM, and I'll give you a lifetime subscription. Cheers, legends. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one.